in 13th century, in the area of nowadays Turkey, in Konya and in Persia, in Iran, there lived a Sufi called Shams from Tabriz. He was a dervish, wild whirling dervish, who completely changed the life of Jalaluddin Muhammad Rumi. We all know Rumi as a wonderful poet, love poet. He wrote lyrics. Well, just few people know that Rumi was, before he met Shams, he was a preacher. He was a scholar, but when they met, actually Shams transmitted to his soul or heart the idea, or let's say the wisdom connected to the nature, to the, let's say, higher conscious. And the first one I have to, of course, mention Shams as his spiritual father. In one of his sayings, there's a lot of his sayings, but I choose this saying: the world is erected upon the principle of reciprocity. Neither a drop of kindness nor a speck of evil will remain unreciprocated. So reciprocity, the principle of reciprocity, is one of the modern systems thinking principles. And so we can say that the words of wisdom that arose from within one Sufi, one wise man, actually existed 800 years ago. And his, let's say, his philosophy or Sufism still lives on. On the picture I took, this picture I took in Istanbul, this is a sema, the Sufi ritual, where the whirling dervishes actually they try to show how to lose ego, because their dance and their dress, their coat and their hats, they represent the death of ego, so that they can transmit pure knowledge from above to the ground. This is just a short, let's say, explanation. But the Sufism of 13th century is, let's say, the one that I say it already talks about systems thinking. If we go further on to his disciple, to Rumi, to Shams' disciple, also Sufism, you probably know this picture, the townspeople who have never seen an elephant and examine its appearance in the dark. And everyone thinks differently. One person thinks, wow, his tail, let's say, is because he's so big, so tall, that his body is a wall, and that his trunk is thin. So it is the metaphor of people who see partially, who don't see the whole, but actually we are here to see the whole. Otherwise, we live in a very analytical world and we are blind. So Rumi here said, if each had a candle in their palms, their diverse saying would merge into one. So actually, what is here the systems thinking? It's the candle. It's the candle that actually opens the eyes of those who are blind because of the darkness. The darkness is here the ignorance, and the ignorance is actually a fear of something new, of going into something new. As also that Plato said in Plato's cave, as you all know. Then let's go back to Mayan society, or let's say in the same period. Here are the two graphic presentation of their consciousness. On the left side, we have the Mayan consciousness. On the right side, we have systems thinking consciousness. The Mayan society, they had more than four-dimensional, but this four-dimensional copes together with systems thinking. We all have, and we all know this time and place consciousness. We have to be here at that time. Then Mayan society had also the personal intent of a person uh, uh, from the time he or she was born. This was described within the Tzolkin calendar. And then they have the divine plan, which was actually the Tun calendar, the calendar of long count, which ended in the end of 2011. And the same we have in systems thinking. We have the also time and place, it's two-dimensional consciousness, which is usually very analytical. But the more we spread the consciousness, the more we see and the more we can anticipate. So the personal intent of a systems thinker is also is to know, to be aware of the big picture of what will become after he anticipates all the events that happen in the present, or that he learns from the past. The big picture is actually the vision, which we must always control. Is this vision that we have a gift for our society, for our ecology? So what is the feedback effect? What is the reciprocity? This is so-called the four-dimensional consciousness, which is just the same as Maya society had. Maybe we can go on with Native Americans. We learned so much from them. Also, there's many books translated into Slovenian language. The Chief Seattle just said that the earth doesn't belong to man, that man belongs to the earth. It is, even though it is the saying of Native Americans, I must say that it is a saying of all the shamans who were actually the guardians of nature, because they couldn't survive if they wouldn't think systemically, which means think together with nature and be completely in symmetry with nature. They all recognized the connections among all things, subject, living nature and non-living nature. And whatever we do to the nature, we do to ourselves. Just the feedback effect is not always visible. So this feedback sometimes comes with a delay. And when it comes, we don't know usually, if we're just analysis thinkers, two-dimensional thinkers, we don't know why does this happen. And we feel like we are being victims of the nature, of the catastrophe, of whatever happens. Then I took from Ian's book, I took a saying. I read during the summertime, I read Between Two Worlds, a book that really impressed me very much. And it is the systems thinking book, actually. It's the very essence of the code of honor that the Aborigine had. It is again the reciprocity in the form of systems of exchange of women, food, labor, and services, and hospitality is at the heart of the relationship. So it is always like connected to the nature and the all interconnectedness among the people, or people and the entire nature, like plants or animals. Then if we go more to the science, Pareto in the 19th century also had so many systems thinking thoughts, like I wish to construct sociology system on the celestial mechanism, physics and chemistry models. He also wanted to connect all that he knew, that he saw, and that he imagined. Some or the other way, he knew that everything is connected and interconnected. So now we come to the consciousness as an evolutionary system, since I talk the history, let's say the past for the future, along two other systems, I would say, with technical systems or hard systems and soft systems, people. We have consciousness as an evolutionary system, and this is the one that actually makes the differences among people, just the different level of consciousness. And now this is the Ludwig von Bertalanffy, who is the father of general system theory, and actually he also said, not only this saying, but he also said that it is important to switch the thinking from the Western science to the science, to the different level of consciousness. Donna Meadows, she is along Margaret Mead, although Margaret Mead, she was an anthropologist, and Donna Meadows was a real pure system thinker. Thinking in System is her manifesto. It's really like one of the pioneers in the systems thinking, of ladies pioneers. And she was aware that there are no separate systems. We are all interconnected. The world is continuum. Kenneth Boulding, the Nobel laureate, it's also 20th century. Anyone who believes exponential growth, you can think of this exponential growth and you can just think of a balloon that we just blow, and at the end it blows up. It's really crazy to think that we only need some numbers and numbers and numbers of tourists without thinking what is going to cause to the nature and to ecology and people. And now this is one of, let's say, models that we do in systems thinking, causal loop diagram, which present everything what I have said so far. There's, let's say, a circle of reinforcement, just plus, 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 plus. The nicer the environment or the more beautiful the environment is, the better or the higher is well-being. The investments to tourism, numbers of tourists, just pluses. But at the end or somewhere else, we must think of the consequences. And when a system thinker creates a model, always try to find out where are the minuses, because the minuses mean just balance of the pluses, and actually it is the risk management, so that the nature cannot strike back, or not just the nature, many things other, let's say, situation don't get crazy. This is the, let's say, the last slide, what I already mentioned, that this is one of, I must say, very important sayings, especially important for Western science, because Eastern wisdom was all more or less all the time holistic, but we were those who separated things, who divided things, and now we have to learn again how to approach, how to integrate pluses and minuses. Both are very important. Nothing is catastrophe if we don't take it as this.